The anxious generation. Reasons why girls are particularly vulnerable. Reason number 1, girls are more affected by visual social comparison and perfectionism. Studies show that girls are more affected by visual social comparison and perfectionism, especially on platforms like Instagram and Snapchat.
That makes sense. I heard that the song Jealousy by Olivia Rodrigo really captures that feeling.
Yes. The lyrics highlight how scrolling through social media can make girls feel inadequate, which is a powerful statement about their mental health.
It's alarming to think that over 35,000 species are at risk of extinction, but girls are facing similar pressures in their social lives.
Indeed. Psychologists describe this as a sociometer effect, where girls constantly gauge their social standing based on appearance.
So, when they see edited images of their peers, it can trigger anxiety and insecurity?
Exactly. The pressure to conform to beauty standards is immense, and it can lead to a significant drop in self-satisfaction among girls.
That's really concerning. I can see how this constant comparison can affect their overall mental health.
Yes, and it's not just about beauty, it's about how they perceive their lives compared to the curated highlights of others.
It sounds like a complex issue that needs more awareness and understanding.
That type of perfectionism makes them feel like they must meet high expectations set by others, which can lead to increased anxiety.
And it's not just about their own standards. They often measure their worth based on likes and social media validation.
Exactly. A study showed that exposure to images of very thin women can heighten anxiety about body image, even if the exposure is incredibly brief.
That's surprising. It suggests that these comparisons happen subconsciously, impacting their self-esteem without them even realizing it.
Yes, and the algorithms on platforms like TikTok amplify this issue by serving content that reinforces these harmful standards.
It's troubling to think that a 13-year-old girl could feel so overwhelmed by comparisons that she considers self-harm.
Indeed, many young girls express feelings of inadequacy, often starting from a very young age. It's a cycle that needs more awareness.
And it's not just about physical appearance. It affects their mental health and overall well-being, which is crucial to address.
Reason number 2, girls' aggression is more relational. It's interesting how aggression manifests differently in boys and girls, isn't it?
Absolutely. I've read that girls tend to use relational aggression instead of physical aggression.
Exactly. While boys might engage in direct aggression, girls often hurt each other through gossip and social exclusion.
That makes sense. I've noticed my daughter is really affected by her friendships and social status.
Research shows that during late childhood and adolescence, girls can experience rising anxiety when their social standing drops.
That sounds really tough. I didn't realize how much social media plays a role in this.
Yes, studies indicate that as adolescents moved their social lives online, bullying shifted as well, particularly for girls.
I've heard that cyberbullying is on the rise among girls. How bad is it?
A U.S. survey found that about 1 in 5 high school girls reported experiencing cyberbullying each year.
Wow, that's alarming. It must be hard for them to escape that kind of pressure.
Indeed. Social media can amplify the effects of relational bullying, making it a constant presence in their lives.
I can't imagine how stressful that must be. It's like there's no safe space for them anymore.
Exactly. The anonymity and reach of social media can lead to significant emotional distress for many girls. Reason number 3, girls more easily share emotions and disorders. You know, it's fascinating how our friends can influence our moods, right?
Absolutely. But I heard that even our friends' friends can affect us too. That's wild.
Exactly. Sociologists Christakis and Fowler found that happiness spreads through social networks, almost like a contagion.
Really? So, if one person gets happier, it can actually make their friends happier too?
Yes. And it goes even further, it can influence friends of friends, creating clusters of happiness.
That's amazing. But what about negative emotions? Do they spread the same way?
Great question. Research shows that negative emotions, like depression, spread even more strongly than happiness.
Wow, that's concerning. And it's interesting that it spreads more from women than men, right?
Exactly. When a woman becomes depressed, it increases the odds of depression in her friends by 142%.
That's a significant number. What happened after social media became popular?
After 2010, as girls became more interconnected on platforms like Instagram, rates of depression and anxiety surged. While social media does connect people, it can also facilitate emotional contagion. Studies show that emotions can spread among peers, especially among girls.
I see. So, how does that relate to what they're seeing online?
Well, there's something called prestige bias. Teens often mimic the behaviors of those they see as popular online, especially when it comes to mental health.
That sounds concerning. Are there any specific platforms where this is happening more?
Yes, platforms like TikTok have become particularly influential. One hashtag alone, hashtag mental health, had over 100 billion views as of last August.
Wow, that's a staggering number. What kind of content are they engaging with?
Many videos showcase extreme symptoms of mental illness, which can lead to a phenomenon known as audience capture, where users become more extreme to gain attention.
That sounds like a dangerous cycle. Are there any real-world effects from this online behavior?
Absolutely. For instance, a group of psychiatrists in Germany noticed an increase in young people showing symptoms of Tourette syndrome, but they were actually mimicking a popular influencer.
So, these kids weren't actually diagnosed with Tourette's? That's alarming.
Exactly. Their symptoms were strikingly similar to the influencers, highlighting the impact of social media on behavior and mental health. Tourette syndrome, which is traditionally more common in males, has seen a spike in girls after it became popular on platforms like TikTok.
That's surprising. I heard about girls suddenly developing tic disorders, like head shakes and shouting random words.
Yes, one British influencer even popularized shouting beans, which led to many girls mimicking that behavior.
And I assume the recommended treatment is to limit social media exposure?
Correct. Doctors often suggest that as a key part of the treatment plan.
What about dissociative identity disorder? I've heard that's becoming more common too.
Yes, it was once rare, but now it's increasingly reported, especially among adolescent girls, thanks to social media portrayals.
I've seen influencers claiming to have multiple identities. How many followers do they have?
One influencer with 29 identities has over 1.1 million followers, showing the trend's reach.
That's a huge audience. It must be confusing for young people trying to understand their own identities.
Indeed. It's also worth noting that the rise in gender dysphoria diagnoses may be linked to these social media trends.
I see. So, the awareness and acceptance of gender identity are growing, but it's also causing confusion?
Exactly. The number of referrals for gender dysphoria has surged, particularly among Gen Z females. Reason number 4, girls are more subject to predation and harassment. According to journalist Nancy Jo Sales, many teenage girls frequently receive attention from adult men online.
That sounds alarming. Are there any statistics on this?
Yes, Sales noted that apps often make little effort to restrict interactions between adults and minors, which is concerning.
What about the pressures girls face from their peers?
It's significant. In many schools, nude photographs act as a currency among students, creating immense pressure on girls.
Wow, I didn't know that. How do boys and girls react to this differently?
Boys often send explicit photos to elicit reciprocation, while girls face stigma and cyberbullying when their photos are shared.
That seems incredibly unfair. Are girls more at risk overall?
Yes, girls are often forced to navigate a more dangerous online environment, which can lead to increased anxiety and stress.